Selling begins with generating leads. Some simply call it prospecting, and there's a saying in sales that goes, without prospects you have no prospects, and who would argue with that? From lead generation, the next stage is to qualify the leads into those likely to buy your product or service and those less likely to. The next stage is to focus on qualified prospects and to make contact with them. Having established that a prospect is qualified to buy and that they have been contacted, the lead then is transformed into a non-buying customer until such time as the order is placed, when they become a buying customer. From this stage the cycle is completed by obtaining referred leads from existing customers. Generating leads is something that every business should be continuously doing, and yet many small businesses in particular find themselves so engaged in serving existing business that it seems too little or no time to consider where the next piece of business is coming from, which is a dangerous situation to be in. As you can see from the visual, there are some stages between lead generation and the customer buying, and each stage takes time to develop. When existing business dries up, it's not just a simple matter of switching back onto non-buying customers. Sometimes you have to begin the process of generating leads all over again, which is why it's an activity that shouldn't stop in the first place. Leads fall into a number of categories. They include self-generated leads, referred leads from existing customers, from advertising, from professional connections, from colleagues in your organization, from seminars, to name but a few. Whichever way you look at it, the best source of future business has to come from the people you are already dealing with. 10 times as many people buy on recommendation than buy as a result of a first-time approach by a salesperson. It makes logical sense to get your future business from your current contacts. Selling is, however, not based on logic but emotions. For many salespeople, there is no logic in asking for referred leads, only terror, potential injury, and loads of rejection. Our research has shown conclusively that no deaths have been reported as a result of salespeople asking for referred leads. We checked out the local hospitals and were unable to find anybody who had been seriously injured asking for a referred lead. So far as rejection is concerned, it goes with the territory. If you can't get used to rejection, then you are in the wrong business. The important thing to remember is that people don't reject you. They reject the idea you tried to sell them. You didn't sell them enough benefit for the price you were asking. If you get at least one referred lead per day, that's 5 potential buying customers for next week. It is impossible not to get a referred lead from a referred lead unless you are a complete idiot. So add that to another 5 you get the next week, and you've got 10 potential buying customers for the week after. On this basis, the next week you've got 15 customers, and eventually all of your business will be based upon referred leads. Within 4 weeks of making your mind up to ask for referred leads, you will never have to make another cold call in your life. Or do you enjoy making cold calls? The biggest single problem that you and I know exists is not asking for a referred lead. In a recent survey, 100% of people who didn't ask for referred leads didn't get any referred leads. Ask yourself, how likely is it that a current customer will give you a referred lead if you ask them? The answer is, it is highly likely. The conditions for people to help you are extremely favorable. People like helping other people, it makes them feel good. Simply ask, can I ask a favor of you? In a recent survey, 100% of people who were asked this question said yes. In a recent survey, 100% of people who were asked this question said yes. What 2 people do you know who are like you and have similar concerns? Whichever way you do it, just ask. Selling is all about confidence. Asking for referred leads is totally about confidence.